Get your double vax and get on with it and learn to live with it. Everyone go and get double jabbed. Nearly, the majority of the country have been double jabbed, double vaccinated, and they're learning to live with it. And it's a very interesting way to do it. And because I think that there's so many small businesses have been affected, people with their mental health, people are losing everything. So I think everyone's just said, enough. Let's all go and get the jabs and get on with it. And it seems to be working at the moment.
This is from Sarah. John, please could you review this article from Israel's National News? It says the risk of myocarditis following mRNA COVID vaccine is around 133 times greater than the background risk. Is this true? And if it is true, why is it not all over mainstream media? Well, to deal with that last bit first, I don't know why mainstream media don't seem to report on these things more than they do. You would think it would be a legitimate part of informed comment. So I don't know the answer to that one. You'd have to ask the Director General of the various mainstream media outlets and their people in charge. But let's just clarify the question here. This is it here, new study, and it does say 133 times risk of myocarditis after COVID vaccination. And to answer this question, of course, because we have to just go by exactly what the evidence says, we have to go to the actual study here where this originated from. So this is the study this actually originated from, and it's in JAMA, Journal of the American Medical Association. You can download the PDF. It's all available free, which of course is very generous, and the whole thing is there. Now, to be fair, it's not a very easy read, so I'm just going to give you a sort of a quick précis of this, a summary of it, and you can decide whether you want to listen to the rest or not. Is there 133 times greater risk? It's actually probably much more significant than that, but what we know from the data, my calculations at least, it's 84 times increased risk in the higher risk category of young men and adolescents. Now, why am I saying it's actually 84 times the risk based on the data? But why am I saying it's probably more than 133 times the risk? In other words, that this is an underestimate of risk. Well, there's fairly strict criteria for diagnosing a case of myocarditis, and indeed pericarditis, so fairly strict criteria. So it's conceivable that some people have an inflamed myocardium, and therefore by definition myocarditis might not meet the criteria. That could be true of some cases. Many cases, of course, are simply not reported. People simply don't report the case. How many, we have no idea. Now, this is all based on VIRAS data, the vaccine adverse events reporting system in the United States. And I've looked at this, and although it says that anyone can fill out a VIRAS return, really you've got to be quite a specialist clinician to do it. I mean, I had to think about it, and I'll show you why it's complicated before. So we can conclude that there's an increased risk of myocarditis and pericarditis after the mRNA vaccines. We can say that definitely. Can we say that it's caused by the vaccine? Technically, the paper doesn't claim that. It says there's an increased risk after the vaccine. So you'll have to decide yourself whether it's a causal link or not. The paper doesn't claim it's a causal link. It just says there's an increased risk, which is patently the case.
Arguably the greatest spin bowler in cricket history, Shane Warne, has died at the age of 52. Shane Warne's management released a brief statement in the early hours of Saturday morning in Australia, so today, saying that he has passed away in Koh Samui in the Gulf of Thailand of a suspected heart attack. And the statement reads as follows: Shane was found unresponsive in his villa, and despite the best efforts of medical staff, he could not be revived.